All right, everybody, how y'all doing today? The Texas Longhorns are going to be facing off against the Arizona State Sun Devils in this quarterfinal round of the 2025 College Football Playoff. Now, the Texas Longhorns have already played their last game of 2024, so this will be a kickoff to the 2025 year for the Texas Longhorns. Almost a school year. It's not a school year, but the Texas Longhorns facing off against the Arizona State Sun Devils, entering as 12.5 point favorites in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Now, the Texas Longhorns, they're not allowed to bring Bevo. This is another hashtag free Bevo situation. Is what it is. The Texas, we're only guaranteed 60 more minutes. Got to go earn another 60 minutes to be able to either play Oregon or Ohio State. Either team that wins this game, whether it's Arizona State or Texas, there's going to be a lot to look forward to after the game, watching the Arizona or Ohio State and Oregon game later on. So we'll get into the video, get into all this in the preview. So if you like the video, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and then comment down below your thoughts on, let me know your thoughts on the game, give me your score prediction, all that stuff. But you like the ticker? The side ticker's back, baby. Side ticker is back in college football sports. We need this. ESPN, take a little bit of notes. Take a little bit of notes. But without further ado, let's hop right on into it. And we're going to start off with the team stats right here. Key takeaways. Poor red zone defense versus poor red zone offense on the so we're looking at Texas offense versus Arizona State's defense. Poor red zone defense versus poor red zone offense. It's normal. Normally like people like to call strength on strength. This is week on week right here. You also look at how teams have chosen to attack the Arizona State defense. It's kind of interesting right here because teams pass heavily against Arizona State. But they do seem to have an okay pass defense. An opponent pass rating that's top 25, yards per pass allowed that's top 25. It's more of and then they're just outside the top 25 as far as allowing 20+ yard pass plays, or not allowing, I should say, when you're talking about the defense. So the yardage, really, them being 70th ranked in the nation, that's just because teams they've chosen to pass the ball a lot. You look at that; they're 124th most teams have. I'm trying to find a good way to say this. Damn it, I'm just jumbling up my words, but you get it. Teams pass against this team a lot. 124th out of 134 teams. There's only 10 teams that get passed on at a higher rate, and not even rate, because this is really just per game. So they could have a higher rate of the percentage of passes. Now, you go and you look at the rush defense, Texas's rush offense, it's been kind of middling, but as of late, it's really been starting to kick in. If there's been a game where Trey Wisner's been kind of, not doing too well, maybe we get a little bit from Jaden Blue. We'll see. But right now, Jaden Blue and Trey Wisner both have been firing on full cylinders the last couple games. And then you also go and you look at the defensive side of the football now. I'm talking about the Texas defense side of the football versus the Arizona State offense. Arizona State's they're an okay offense, but you'll see with the fourth down conversion percentage, that's kind of low. Red zone scoring percentage, there's a really good reason why, and this is going to go into my keys for the Arizona State W. Man, their kicking game has been terrible lately. Like terrible, 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 horrible lately. As in the last 7 attempts. And so Texas fans, y'all mad at Bird Auburn? The last 7 attempts for Arizona State, only 2 field goals made. That's not good. That is not good. Now, they do have a good rushing attack, and this is going to be a strength on strength matchup. I talk about week on week. This is strength on strength with Texas having a top 10 rush defense, Arizona State having a top 25 rush offense. This is going to be strength right here. And then similar to, it's honestly kind of really funny because it's really similar to their pass defense. They have an okay passing offense, but they just don't use it a lot. They opt to run a lot, and obviously with Cam Skattebo, you're going to run the ball a lot. But with their leading receiver now out, you're going to see that in a second. Man, it really does feel like they're going to be, they're going to need to run the ball and run the ball really well. They're going to need to do, and that goes straight into my, keys to Arizona State to win the game. You need a strong game from Scadaboo. This has got to be him stamping, hey, you know what? I am one of the best running backs, and he likes to think of himself as the best running back in the country. He, like Anthony Hill said, he probably deserves to say it, right? He's done a lot this year as far as production wise. Now they're going to need a strong game from him in the receiving area as well. He is now their leading receiver going into the rest of the season. With depending on how long they end up playing, maybe they get their guy back. I'm blanking on the name. We'll get to it in a second. But so leave it. He's going to need to benefit from defenders not being inside the box, trying to come up and or not defenders being in the box. Coming up to defend against Scadaboo, and he's going to need to be able to take advantage of the moments that there's opportunities to complete a pass against this Texas defense. He needs to take advantage of that. Defensive line for Arizona State, they need to win the battle against the offensive line against Texas. They have to. That is a must for them to be able to win this game. And then scoring in the red zone. You saw the red zone numbers are bad. A lot of that is on the kicking game. They need to just like the defense and just like I said with leave it. When an opportunity presents itself, they need to take advantage of the opportunity, and they need to score. It's just that's it is what it is. That's a key right there. And also for Texas, key to the game when Arizona State gets in the red zone, they need to shut them down. Don't let them get an inch. And Quinn Ewers, he needs to have a strong game, I think. I just this is one of those games where Quinn Ewers, you need to keep Arizona State off the field because they're comfortable running the ball. They can do long drives. As we've seen with Texas, and especially in these bowl games and college football playoff games, teams, when they like to hold time possession, that doesn't really work out that well with Texas. So Quinn Ewers, we need a strong game from him. The running game needs to be there for Quinn. Y'all have heard me talk about this in the past where I'm saying, hey, this Texas running a game needs to be good for Quinn Ewers to be, fully efficient. And not just Quinn Ewers, but really the Steve Sarkisian offense. Running game needs to be strong. The secondary. The defensive backs are going to need to stop. They're going to need to be that stop loss for Texas. When Scadaboo is going and he's getting those, he's bouncing off guys and he's about to go 10+ yards. Texas needs to stop that, as you saw with the team stats right here. I mean, Texas is one of the top 10 teams in the nation as far as we're actually 8th best in the nation as far as limiting 10+ yard plays. So that's a massive area for the Texas Longhorns. Can Michael Taaffe, who's been a large source of that, can he continue to come down and be that stop loss guy? And then it just goes right into we have to shut down Scadaboo. Scadaboo has to be shut down in this game. We have to keep them from being limiting time. We got to limit their time possession, and and that takes us to the stars for Arizona State. And you got Sam Leavitt, Arizona State, only one interception after Game 6. Capable rushing quarterback. He is playing his best ball. This dude is he's been pretty much on fire. Now Quinn Ewers has not. If you look at the stats, if you were to just look at touchdowns to interceptions, Quinn Ewers has not looked amazing lately, right? Just in the box score, right? As complete opposite for Sam Leavitt. But he has had a tendency, Mississippi State, he was 50%, 67 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. I mean, look, he can be great, but he can also be he can also be a problem himself. Cam Scadaboo, really, this dude's like a cannonball at the running back position. 137 point yards per game right now. 19 touchdowns. He has the most receiving yards of any of the available players right now. Jordan Tyson, this is the player that I couldn't remember the name earlier, not available for the cultural playoff game. He is the leading Arizona State receiver with 75 receptions, 1,101 yards, 10 touchdowns on the year. Xavier Guillory, he is the next in line for the Arizona State leading wide receiver yardage. They do have another receiver that's leading in receptions, but as far as yards leading, Xavier Guillory, most yards of the available receivers. One game over 4 targets. That was 7 versus Texas Tech. So you would assume he's going to start to see more targets now that, Jordan Tyson is out. 19 receptions, 320 yards, 5 touchdowns on the year so far. Clayton Smith. Look, if you're gonna have the Texas, if you're gonna see Quinn Ewers sacked, it's probably gonna be from Clayton Smith or Elijah O'Neal. And if there's a tackle for loss, it's probably gonna be from Clayton Smith or Elijah O'Neal. These guys are really gonna be trying to get after Quinn Ewers and stop the Texas run game. Xavier Alford, former Texas Longhorn, 2 interceptions for 0 yards, 82 tackles. He's second on the team in tackles. And then Keith Abney, he leads the team in interceptions, 3 interceptions for 8 yards, 50 tackles, and 7 pass breakups. And look, this is just one of those things where, I mean, if you really want to, you're going to hear about this in the prediction in about 5 seconds, but picking stars for Arizona State. Now, do I know Arizona State as much? No, right? But picking stars for Texas, I mean, I had to leave some guys out, and really, this is where you can really see that there's a huge difference. The next 8 or 10 guys that I left out for Texas would be the number one or number two guy on either side of the ball for Arizona State. So it's just a huge discrepancy when you get to the talent level. And Quinn Ewers, 3 straight 200-yard games. Like I said, if you were to remove the yardage, right, he looks terrible. But in my opinion, I think he has looked comfortable. Some of those interceptions most of those interceptions are off tip passes. Which, if you go back and look real quick, I mean, let's just go ahead and let's be fair here a little bit. 5 pass breakups from Elijah O'Neal and 4 pass breakups from Clayton Smith. I'm not sitting here saying that they're not going to put the hand on the ball, right? That like these are guys that Quinn Ewers he needs to. I'm not going to say he needs to focus on not getting the ball tipped, but if the ball gets tipped, it is what it is, and you're just gonna have to accept that when you have Quinn Ewers on the field. Uh, but sometimes that 3-quarter throw, hey, sometimes that thing pays off, and you saw that with a good target to Gunnar Helm. Uh, yeah, he's looked really comfortable as of late, in my opinion. I think he's starting to, and I think you actually see some of that comfort. Like he's been playing, he just didn't warm up with the ankle brace on, but then he put it back on. I think he's got a little bit of comfort from the ankle brace being there. Kelvin Banks, looking like he's going to be the first tackle taken in the NFL draft. Only 2 sacks, and really one of those sacks is 100% on Quinn Ewers. He should only have 1 sack in the last 1,000 snaps. This is one of the best, if not the best tackle that we will ever see at the Texas Longhorn on wearing a Texas Longhorn jersey. Quintravian Wisner, leading rusher right now, 973 yards, 5 touchdowns. 3 of the last 4 games have gone for over 100 yards. He had 110 yards this last game against Clemson. Was injured, came back. Need a big game from him. And also, again, 38 missed tackles forced, 3.3 yards after contact when running the ball. Isaiah Bond, how healthy is that ankle is going to be a big deal because, as you can see, I mean, 5 straight games over 51 yards before the injury, and a lot of those were 70 yards, and then one of those was 134 yards. And that game was against Oklahoma, and we really haven't seen him be the same since. He came back. Yes, he did play, but he was very limited. If Isaiah Bond is fully healthy now, man, do we see the Isaiah Bond that we saw earlier in the year? And how do Matthew Golden's targets look? Well, that's really interesting to watch. But for right now, I got him listed as a star for the Texas Longhorns. Anthony Hill Jr. leads the team in tackles for loss with 16, leads the team in tackles with 99, one shy of 100, and second in sacks with 8. That number's wrong. It's 7.5. Please forgive me, people. Please forgive me. Jade Barron won the Thorpe Award Nation's Best Defensive Back. 5 interceptions, 11 pass breakups. Amazing season from Jade Barron here. 50 total tackles on the season. Michael Taff, just he's the guy that coaches want to let the daughter marry. No, this is a joke. I mean, obviously, lacking the athleticism, really smart guy. I had to play into that joke, but 2 interceptions, 8 pass breakups, 5.5 tackles for loss, 63 total tackles, and then Andrew Makuba, extremely hard hitter. And I mean, this is you're gonna hear this in my prediction. I'm worried. I'm worried about Andrew Makuba picking up a. Well, might as well start going into that. Man, I kind of really am worried about Andrew Makuba. picking up a late targeting because if we're winning, Andrew, please, please, we need you versus Ohio State or Oregon. Either one, we need you. Do not pick up a targeting penalty in the second half. Please, begging you on my hands and knees. But I'm so that is one thing that I'm kind of worried about. Cannot have any arm tackling whatsoever against Scadaboo. Scadaboo is not the running back you want to arm tackle. Uh, Leave it is he's a tough and confident quarterback. He is confident. You're gonna see that just here in a second. I got a video for y'all. Uh, yeah. Uh, Arizona State they're trying to motivate Texas right now. It is what it is. Kicking game struggling. Like I said, only made 2 of the last 7 attempts kicking the field goal. There's not a lot of confidence in kicking a field goal right now. And then Dillingham is kind of inexperienced in these games. Whether with Steve Sarkisian, you can say it. Forget it as a head coach, right? Steve Sarkisian, he's had a ton of experience with high profile, bowl games at USC, national championships, all these sorts of things. Dillingham does not have a ton of experience with this, so it'll be very interesting to watch that and see how that plays out. But so I mentioned, hey, this Leave It guy, he's motivating Texas. Well, let's hear some of his comments here.
Since day one, so yeah, I've watched him for a fair amount of time now. I'm just excited for the opportunity. People keep counting me out since day one, and I'm gonna go prove I'm the better quarterback. And that's how I feel since day one. So I'm gonna go put everybody on the map. Yeah.
Sorry, muted there for a second. But so as you can see, I mean, he was kind of he wants to prove himself as a better quarterback. Now that might motivate Quinn Ewers a little bit. Would be fine. I'll take it, right? But man, I feel like this Texas defense is going to go out there and they're going to try and stick up for their guy, and they're going to try and make one quarterback look a lot better than the other. Whether that's good for their good play only or good play on both sides. So we'll have to see about that. But man, this Texas Longhorn team that it's not just the quarterback too. There's been other little pop shots. This Texas team is not taking that approach. This Texas team is saying, "Hey, look, we're respecting this opponent. Scadaboo, possibly the best running back in the nation, really could be easily. It's just, this is the Texas Longhorns are operating straight out of the Nick Saban school of no rat poison whatsoever. Rat poison, no good. I honestly was thinking that this game was going to be close and that this game was going to be like the air. I almost was going to pick an Arizona State win. No, not anymore. No, I think this Texas team. I think this Texas team is going to be far too motivated to go out there. I think that you look at like what Vegas has to say, all these things. I don't know, man. I have not put I haven't put really an ounce of like thought into the score prediction until this very second, and I'm just letting it speak to me. I don't think that Quinn Ewers. I don't think not Quinn Ewers. I don't think Steve Sarkisian gives a shit about running up the score, and I think that that has to be factored in. I'm gonna go. Let me see. I'm gonna go 34-6 Texas Longhorns win. Absolute massive blowout. I just 2 field goals from Burt Auburn. Offense gets a couple touchdowns in. Maybe defense gets a touchdown here or there. But I got Texas Longhorns moving on to the semifinals, and playing in a home game. Basically, this would be a virtual home game inside Dallas. You either have Oregon or Ohio State coming. I mean, you're talking about Dallas, Texas versus Oregon. Oregon having to travel down from Eugene or Ohio State having to travel down from Columbus. Texas Longhorn fans are going to show up in Dallas. I already know a few fans that are already kind of planning like as if we've already won the game. So we got to win a game. Secure some help out some of these fans out here. Some of these fans out here that have already secured some of the travel arrangements. So, all right, everybody. Hope you have a great day. And again, let me know your prediction down below. I got Texas Longhorns winning 34-6. And wait, hold on. Whoa, 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 whoa. Timeout. Timeout. What? I didn't even listen to my the field goal. Field goal's made. Oh, they haven't made a damn field goal. Do I go? I can't believe it. 34-0. Texas Longhorns win. Hook 'em.